This is me sad. This is me happy once I started using the IdeaPique feature on the TwinFlame app. To enjoy this feature, you'll want to head to the Fun and Social section and scroll down to IdeaPique. This feature generates fun ideas for you to do. You can select a category by swiping from one to the next. Suppose you wanted to do something educational. You would head to the educational category and hit the refresh button up at the top of the screen, and a new idea will be generated. There are plenty of different categories, including recreational, social, and DIY. I could certainly get better at my arts and crafts, so maybe I want to get a new idea here. Also, below the idea, you'll be given the category, the number of participants needed, and if there are any possible challenges in completing the idea. There are also more categories like charity, cooking, relaxation, and here's an idea to start a daily journal, and FYI, there's a journal feature on the TwinFlame app to help you get started with that. There are also music and busywork categories. At the very bottom of the screen, there will also be a suggested website related to the idea given. You can just click that and it will take you right to the website. Alright, I've spent enough time outlining the details of this feature. I think the first idea I want to roll with is filling out a basketball bracket. But I didn't just want to fill out a normal basketball bracket like every dude does when March hits. After finding a few different ones I liked, I decided to fill out the teen movie bracket from The Ringer. Yes, I'm a 22-year-old man, but I love coming-of-age movies just as much, well, probably more, than the next guy. I printed out the bracket and got to work. Immediately, I knew Ferris Bueller's Day Off would be making it far. But then I got swarmed by a bunch of movies I hadn't seen. I swear, though, I am a true teen movie addict. But Back to the Future and The Breakfast Club put me back in familiar territory. I was surprised to see the horror teen films be a part of this bracket, and let me be totally transparent, I saw Scream and began to wonder how I couldn't pick that movie to win it all. It's one of my favorites of all time, and I definitely let that bias get in the way of me being objective. In the next sections, I saw powerhouses like Superbad and Mean Girls, and knew this was going to be more difficult than I thought. A pivotal moment was when I had to choose between Mean Girls and She's the Man. But I decided Mean Girls doesn't even belong here, and She's the Man proved victorious. Before long, I ended up with my final 8. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, Scream, Heathers. Yes, these are all 1 and 2 seeds. But I also had Can't Hardly Wait, Grease, She's the Man, and Clueless. At this point, She's the Man had literally taken over me and powered its way to the finals, even taking out a rival underdog, Can't Hardly Wait. That's a movie that's super underrated in the younger crowds, I think, but I'll personally never get enough of Jason Segel sucking on a watermelon, or a bunch of Barry Manilow references, even though I have no idea who that is. I thought it had a fighting chance, but She's the Man didn't care who it hurt on its way to the finals. Up against it, you might ask? Well, Scream, of course. But at the end of the day, I think horror more so than teen movie when I think of Scream, and so somehow She's the Man won my bracket. Maybe because it deserves it, or maybe because I miss Amanda Bynes movies and need this little victory. Regardless, IdeaPeak suggestions don't always end in such controversy. The next idea I set out to do was learn how to juggle. I grabbed a snapback for this one since it was about to get serious. I took a look at the suggested website, Juggling for Beginners, and read up on some of the tips. I first practiced the proper cascade throw technique with 1, then 2 balls. Before adding a third, I said a quick little prayer to the camera and got on my way. And I was maybe a little too impressed by how I started out. But then I really started to feel pretty good about myself, but I'm not really sure if I was continuing with the right technique. My main goal was really to just not let a ball hit the ground, no matter how I went about doing it. And I'll admit, I did start calling myself a master juggler in my head, but I clearly am not actually one. Then, after enough time had passed, I was ready for my last attempt. Nothing was going to get in my way. Honestly, not bad. Maybe I actually am a master juggler. After all that insane juggling, I had worked up quite an appetite for the week ahead, and thought I'd take this suggestion of preparing a meal plan next. And after looking at the kitchen's website, I became a lot more confident that I could actually do it. From there, I took to the fridge to see what ingredients I already had. I then did some quick recipe research and came up with a grocery list for the week, but people really just make those on their phones now, so this is actually pretty boring to watch. Of course, to make it official, I took to the communal whiteboard and wrote out the meal plan for the week. I had some chicken ready to go, and I knew pork was on sale at my local grocery store, so I planned around that. I'd settled on the 2 main dishes of the week, being a balsamic vinegar chicken recipe and a pork and broccoli meal. With leftovers, I planned on eating 2 of each of those meals. And keep in mind that leftovers and planning for takeout or eating out are all part of meal planning. So I also plan on eating out or having frozen dinners during the weekend. But I can't end this segment without some up-close cooking footage. I know this has got Food Network shaking in their boots. Don't worry, Giada, I'm not coming for your job. Well, I know I definitely had fun doing all of these suggestions from IdeaPeak. Hopefully you had fun viewing the chaos within this video. And if you're looking to do something fun, learn something, or maybe do something productive in your free time, look no further than IdeaPeak. And of course, thank you for using TwinFlame.